Hey guys, Alicia here. I heard the advice again recently about finding 5 quality voices to surround yourself with, and the fact that some of those can be online. And that got me thinking about my journey of finding online mentors, and I just thought I would share with you some tips and a little bit about my process with that. As I got into mom blogging last year, I started commenting, reading other blogs, kind of talking on Facebook, connecting with people, and somebody told me about Marie Forleo. Like, hey, based on what I was writing about, she was like, hey, I think you would like her. You should check her out. So I did, and I love her because she's amazing. And I started watching her interviews, which I love to read, and she interviews authors, and so I love that. I'm super getting into the whole the interviews of people who write the books and then reading their books. And I've read books since before you really had that access to seeing the people talk about their books on video, and so I just love that. Of course, maybe that was here a decade ago, and I was just in that little kid bubble that us moms can get in when we have babies, and we're in that bubble. Anyways, point is, one of the first ones that I watched with her, the first two were Brendon Burchard. Oh, I need that. Oh, anyways. Brendon Burchard, High Performance Habits was one, and then Tony Robbins was another one. Two really, really great authors and books that have had a really big impact on me in the last 9 months. And then I'm losing my voice. This is terrible. Okay, I'm going to finish this video. It's okay. So Tony Robbins, I became a fan. I watched his documentary on Netflix. It's super fun. I've read a couple of his books. 2.5. Read 2.5 of his books. And then I started looking for more videos, by him. And he's mostly got podcasts. But at that point, I was looking for videos. And I saw an interview where Gary Vaynerchuk. Here we go. Gary Vaynerchuk. He was interviewing Tony Robbins, and I was fascinated by the fact that he kept interrupting this guy. And I thought, Tony Robbins, he is big, he has made it, he's obviously rich and brilliant and can change people's lives like that. I totally want to be him. I want to be able to change your life in a 5-minute video. That's what I'm going for. So I was like, who is this Gary Vee person? So I started watching him. Well, he's amazing too. And then at some point, all right, it's on. Sort of. All right, no, I'll just have to tell you. Amy Schmittauer, now Amy Landino, Vlog Like a Boss, because of something with Gary Vee. I saw her. Anyways, she talks about him at the beginning of the book because she met him and bought a bunch of his books and encouraged her audience. Anyways, she is the first person that I found that actually is a YouTuber for me to look up to as a YouTuber and how to do YouTube and how to do video. So, and then some of her recent videos I've been watching, and they're super motivational. And I watch some of Gary Vee's sometimes because it's amazing. I love, the biggest thing that I get from him is stop watching my videos and go do. And I'm I love that. Okay, yes. Get motivated, start executing. And I think 2 big things that I just want to tell you right now with this, that I'm learning, that I've learned, and that I really want to tell you, is just learning is fun, but it's also easy. And the hard work is where the payoff is. So join me and join us. So many of my friends, you're probably there with me on Facebook, and where, we're finding each other. I love, being a mom in this world. And, my dream is to be a mompreneur someday. That's where I'm headed. Right now, this is still just a side biz, and I need to do a video about how I juggle it and juggle the two, the day job and everything. But what I really, really want to tell you is that you should think about that you need to do. You need to not just learn, you also need to do. And I feel like I don't really need to tell you that, except that it helps to hear other people say things that we know and things that we're already doing, because it's not just us. But find your focus, really niche down, figure out what your topic really is that you're passionate about and that's profitable. Dial into that, figure out who you're really serving. I keep hearing more and more you can't niche down enough, and it's true. I just keep niching down, and as soon as I niche down all the way in my topic, then I'm now I need to niche down all the way in my avatar or whatever. there are so many people in the world, which is fun. And, if we all get past the like, oh, my neighbor is really nice to me, but they're not like, interested in this thing that I'm interested in. The internet is amazing as far as just being able to connect all of us in these different niche groups where we understand each other's worlds, that we're like at home watching the kids doing videos when they're asleep, right? So the other thing is just, I've heard this a couple of times, this idea of surrounding yourself with 5 voices, and the idea that some of those can be online voices. And I just feel like that's huge, because some of my friends, I love them, but they're stay-at-home moms, or they've got little kids and they're just not thinking about business the way that I am. Maybe they don't have to work, maybe they don't want to, maybe they just do a totally different kind of work. And spouses can understand to some extent, friends, relatives, but just the importance of having people in your life who are speaking those things. And maybe it's a coach, and maybe with some people it's somebody, like some of these online mentors, that it can be so impactful to listen to their YouTube videos or to read them. And I think it's really fun that in social, we're in a world where you can tweet them and they might reply to you. Like you might, get a nod, like, from these people that we respect, that are pouring into so many of our lives. So my other tip, okay, this is how I think you should get started. This is how I got started, partly. Read books, or think about the books that you've read. If you're a reader, think about what you've read. If you haven't read recently nonfiction, ask some friends. If you're who I think you are, you have been reading books, because I love, as whenever I see those questions in the Facebook groups, people are like, oh, what's a great book that you're reading right now? And everybody's like, oh, I'm reading this, and I'm like, oh, I'm not the only mom that's like, I don't want to just read parenting stuff, I want to read about business and marketing, because it's all super interesting, and the whatever 3-month year and the whatever. No, I'm just gonna mess up the titles of things, because I thought about making like a whole stack. You know what I'm talking about, the super inspirational, informative stuff. I'm amazed that there's always another book that I can read that's gonna help me on my journey. So, point for you, find the books, find the authors, just start there. Think about who has been impactful, think about what ideas you've liked, and then go look online, see if they have a blog. I love Laura Vanderkam. I just got her newest book like a few days ago, and I'm super excited about it. Anyways, go find your favorite author, see if they have a regular blog, see if they're social. Some people are more just like, but I'm finding even, like, I love Ryan Holiday, and he is more of like, don't talk to me unless you really want to reply to my email list, but really, like, I want to go write my book. So he's like super productive as a writer, because he like defends his time as like a writer, and I'm like, oh, that's amazing, I can do that someday. But anyway, he's like an author, and he like takes the writing really seriously, and he carves out the time to write, and he only does certain interviews. So you can see the interviews, and then you wait for the next book to come out. But then someone like Laura Vanderkam, like, I love her, and ever since 168, I have like a really old YouTube video where I talk about her books, influence in my early journey. Anyways, 168 Hours was super instrumental in me, helped me at that point in my life to decide that I could continue to work my part-time job, and have kids and do both, and that was, that I was that person that I identified with what she was talking about, where she was like, you can do it both, you don't have to pick, find a way that works. And so I wouldn't be where I am if I haven't made that decision that she helped me make. So anyways, I followed her blog sort of for a long time, and every time a new book comes out that she's writing, I get super excited. But I don't always follow her. Her blog is a little more personal, so I don't read it all. But then there are some people like Gary Vee. I love following him on Twitter and Instagram. And Ryan Holiday, I love following him on Twitter. Emery Forleo, I love following her everywhere. So I love some of these different people. Like, I follow them, and they just have these really great inspirational quotes or short videos or ideas. And I look at that and I'm like, ooh, that's who I want to be. That's who I want to be for you. That's why I'm doing this on the side. I want to be known. I want to make an impact. I want to have influence. I want to, live out this passion for just helping other moms to, be able to find a way to have some income to help their family, on their own terms when they are wherever their husband's job is, or they want to be home with their kids. I mean, that's like the biggest one for so many of us. But just life on your own terms. I have a friend, they are about to buy an RV and live in an RV for a couple of years. That's awesome. Like, that is like, yes. And she's a virtual assistant, and her husband's getting out of the military. Anyways, I love everything about this mompreneur life / emphasis / and I just think a huge key part of it is 5 people. I've got a coach and I've got an accountability partner, and I'm working on my close friends and family, but in the meantime, I've got these really great online mentors who are generously giving some of their time and effort for free, and a bunch, they put out a bunch of free content to help us, to help me and you. So I just want to encourage you, that is out there. I didn't know a few years ago that it was, and it is. These people are out there. Feel free to follow me on social. Hey, there's a good tip. There's a self-plug. If you want to find some of these people, follow me on social, because I love to reshare their things. Just go to energyformompreneurs.com and just find the links to follow me on social. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to see more about inspirational mompreneur stuff, and especially some tips about analytics and how to use your data to find your focus, to do the right business activities for you, to get your results in the amount of time that you have per week, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I would appreciate it so much. I really appreciate you watching. Until next time, be blessed.